All right, we're back, guys. Nice quick little break there. But okay, we're going to take your questions now. And again, we're going to go to the red thread. We're going to sort by top. And then we're just going to read them off. Unfiltered style here. All right, first off, not at the top with 61 points, we got Kooky Boy says to Destiny, do you know that the upcoming Lionsgate tourney won't be played in E?
I think we've covered that to death tonight, haven't we?
Okay, yeah. All right.
We may have done that one.
All right, next up, Radzio22 to Richard, with Desro deciding not to shave his head after all, will there be another Broken Promises article?
No.
No, okay.
Considering
These are great
on
questions,
the show
man.
I had the breakdown on, I said the worst thing I ever did was like write articles about like just getting in people's shit. Like I think my New Year's resolution, I'm just gonna let them do it. I'm just gonna let these fuckers rip you all off. You deserve it, obviously.
Oh
Yeah,
my-
that's
the right approach,
that's
dude.
the filtered as fuck.
No,
answer
it's-
coming from
God.
Richard Lewis. The
No, it's
unfiltered
gotta
answer.
be.
The unfiltered
Oh my
answer is
God.
Richard Lewis already has the article in his queue, but he's sending it over to Thorin because Thorin
Yeah.
says it so much that he's gonna publish it under his no name just because he has nothing better to do.
It's you know, no, seriously, it's just if you're the asshole for pointing out when
Do you,
people don't keep promises, then fuck it, man. Like
Do you read-
I'll just
Do you read
Sorry,
Stephen
go
King?
Stephen King.
Have you read
I
Stephen King?
used to. I have read him.
Okay, so have you heard of a guy called Richard Bachman?
Yeah, that was his alter ego. Did the Running Man.
It was. So I think
Yeah.
you need one, dude, because then you can do the whole like I'm gonna write a nice fluffy article, and then I can write
It's
a really
Gonzaria.
shitstorm article, and it'll be fine, and no one will care.
It's Richard and then Gonzaria.
But
That's the two.
This is the thing. Like, I missed the Gonzaria columns. Like, they were created with the idea of exposing the seedy underbelly of esports. And like, when I was writing about
Yeah,
a
but
very
then
small niche part of it, that was okay.
yeah, but
Because
then
the only
Richard
people who
Lewis.
could be upset couldn't really do anything about it. But then once you start writing about StarCraft and League of Legends, and you know, you point out that these people who are well respected for whatever reason are
What-
doing these, you know, not so cool things, people, their fucking brains just melt down. They can't understand it. Like, how dare you? We've built these people up to be these awesome, incredible people. We've lined their pockets. Don't tell us that what they're doing is wrong, Richard, because we don't want to
That's-
think about that.
well, that's because you
we just
didn't-
want to enjoy esports, and you're ruining it by pointing out that not everything is great. So everyone takes a shit on me. And 2014. No, seriously, I'm gonna sell out. I've decided this is the year I sell
Oh,
out.
no.
Finally, no.
Oh
Listen,
no, here we
for
go.
10 years, I thought about it. Somewhere in the middle of my breakdown
So-
on the end of year show, Destiny said something while Too Good was mocking me.
God, you're making it.
Because he
Wow.
could tell I was having a breakdown. And Destiny said something about, you know, come on, man, like, you know this, you're a smart guy, you've got to be about marketing and making that money. And I was kind of being like, yeah, I don't really care about money, And I guess I kind of don't, as you can tell by the way I'm dressed. But it'd be nice to sell out this year. So I've decided I'm going to sell out this year. I'm not quite sure how
But you
I'm gonna
don't. But you
it yet.
do. You don't.
No,
but
I'm-
you
I'm
do.
go-
Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I'm totally gonna sell out. Totally. First opportunity I get to be a corporate shill, like whether it's a company rings me up and says, Richard, this mouse, it's shit, it falls to bits. As soon as you put it in your hand, the buttons come off. It electrocutes 50% of the users. It's actually killed many children in China where it's made in sweatshop conditions. But if you say it's awesome, we will give you £10,000 a month for 12 months. I'm just gonna do it. I'm gonna electrocute the kids, Chris. This year, kids will be electrocuted. I'm gonna do
Oh
it.
my
So
God. Okay.
I'm selling out this year, and that's gonna be the final broken promise. I promised I'd never sell out. Well, I did. I sold out.
Can I get an article about that?
Exactly.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fuck.
I think where you went wrong, Richard, was you were doing all those articles under your real name instead of Gonzaria.
Yeah, maybe. I think where I went wrong was just talking about Chinese kids getting electrocuted. I think that was probably where I went wrong somewhere.
All right,
in
that's
this.
good.
So
Oh,
good luck with
fucking-
that visa application for Shanghai.
I'll just be there with my suitcase full of bad copper wiring. You know, we'll see you there, China. So yeah, I'm gonna sell out this year. I've decided, 100%.
All right, I'm moving up on the next question up just a little bit because we didn't talk about this at all. But Steven, what do you think of the proposed patch changes? The one involving Hydralisks being 25 gas
Fucking
and
stupid. It's
Mobius
so stupid. I
reactor being
can't take
gone.
it seriously. The Hydra change is just dumb. That's what I saw on the Zerg side. Way too fucking strong. ZVP would be unwinnable for us. There's no fucking way.
It's
Right?
crazy. Yeah,
The styles right now, the big Hydra timing into mutas would be infinitely more deadly. You'd either have twice as many Hydras, or the muta switch would be that much more fucking crazy. Like
Yeah.
muta switches are already hard enough to deal with off of Ling Hydra or Ling Roach timings, and to have a Hydra be 25 gas, I don't know. That just sounds crazy to me.
Yeah. What about the others? Mobius, basically being removed, so ghosts have more energy right off the bat, and what are some of the others? Time Warp, I think, is more expensive, I believe.
I
It's
think
even more
Ghost.
expensive.
So what? Ghost would come out with enough energy for an EMP.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
I think.
Or 25
So a
short,
real
I
quick
can't remember.
question. So they wouldn't? You mean they wouldn't get it automatically?
Actually, is it 75? It might be 75. I think because Mobius... Right. I mean, if they remove Mobius, I think they should get it right off the bat. I believe.
Ghost spawning with the EMP right off the bat wouldn't be bad. And
Yeah,
I know
it's
some
not that bad.
Protosses might be a little bit butthurt about that. But with the way that unit production works in other races, Templar spawning with Storm was a broken mechanic because you
Yeah.
could instantaneously press T and spawn a Templar in a couple seconds that'll have a Storm. To get a Ghost with EMP to pop out, you have to build the Ghost, you gotta wait for the build time, and then he has to walk out of the barracks to the battle. So I think Ghost spawning with EMP isn't necessarily broken. If that's how it's gonna work. I think that's an okay-ish thing.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if they're going to remove that upgrade, I think that is how it's going to work. Anything else? There's a couple others. There's a couple other Protoss changes. They're pretty much all
Can you link
changes
it real
that are bad.
fast? Can you just link
Let
it
me
real
find
fast?
it.
Or...
Let me find it. It's from a question, so he didn't really have the link in the question, so I don't have the link on me right now.
Oh, okay, fine.
Well, hey, somebody in chat has the link. Oh, actually, you can't link it, so that sucks.
Why not? You have links turned off in your chat?
Yeah, I have links turned off in the chat.
Pussy.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, moving on for
Don't,
now.
don't vote for chairman. Don't vote for this channel.
All right, so Weazon, he's got a few questions. So these are kind of just to all of us. Who's the person you want most to get out of? If I skip that first question, who would you like the most to be successful in 2014?
Why don't you want us to answer the unfiltered question, Chris?
No, it's just kind of worded funny. It's kind of the same.
No,
It's
what he's saying is who would you want to get out of esports in 2014? Who would you?
Oh, wow, I see.
Who would you push out?
Oh,
of
I
the
thought it
scene
was
if you
like I thought it was like who do you want to get the most out of esports? Okay, yeah. Who do you want
No.
out of esports in 2014?
Yeah,
okay,
that's
got
what
it.
it means.
Got it. This is
I'm gonna
unfiltered
go
right
ahead and
here,
let
baby.
Paul take that one.
Yeah, definitely.
That's an unfiltered question right
That's
there.
actually quite hard. I don't think there's anyone. I think it's like a bit like Richard said earlier. Like he's read he's written all of these crazy articles, controversial if you want to call them that, or horrible to some people if they've taken it that way. Sure, but there's kind of a yin and a yang for me. I kind of like that. I don't really. I mean, I've had my blows with Richard in the past. I've come to blows with Thorin in the past. I've come to blows with all sorts of other people in the past. But I don't really, I don't dislike anyone. I don't think anyone deserves to be thrown out of esports unless they don't want to be here. So I'm going to go with Idra.
Safe pick. No, I'm just kidding.
So when we see that Idra's not casting any DreamHack events, we know that the real reason is because Paul actually told Idra, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to pay you shit for any more
That's
events. I don't
right.
want you in esports
He-
anymore."
he-
That
he
was the
got
main reason why Idra retired. That's also why we were going to have Idra on the show earlier, but once we told Idra that Paul was going to be here, I mean, obviously the tension, Paul being the sole reason why Idra left, didn't want to come on and talk to us. So now we all know.
Man,
True
Detective
story.
Destiny, man. Got it. Can't
Can't
That's
hide
a
anything
tough
from
question. I don't think there's anybody that's just so bad and toxic, for esports that I would want completely out of esports. I can't think of a person, honestly. Richard, you think of anybody?
I want Destiny to go first.
I don't know. That's really hard. I can't think of anybody that I want, that I really hate in esports. Besides Alex Garfield, he can fuck off, the EG owner. But other than him, everybody
Oh
else.
man. Okay. Rich?
don't know, man. It's like.
Oh, come on. It didn't, like, whereas I
No,
had
no,
0 on them.
no, the
Rich
thing is,
must have a list
I'm
which
not-
goes like, so you can't pick one.
That's what I mean. It's like you guys, like, I can't think of anyone. I'm like, I can think of so fucking many. It's really hard. To
Oh my
fucking pin-
god.
So I'm
Just
trying
start
to,
rattling them off.
yeah, I'm trying to be succinct here.
He's pulling up his
I mean,
Google
don't-
Docs page with like the
Alex,
list.
Alex
Just,
Garfield.
Richard,
Alex Garfield was a really
hang
good
on.
shout.
Just do
Yeah,
your
go
top
on.
20, Richard.
No, look.
You're
Let's be serious. Like Alex Garfield, I don't know. He's become like almost like a parody of himself as the years go by. Like the whole CS Pro mod thing and everything. You know, he's become quite laughable and. You know, he's okay. That blacklisting journalists and like his outbursts to Slasher. You know, he's got funnier and funnier as time's gone by. Like he seems, I can't view him as an asshole because he's just so. You know, he's just a ridiculous figure. You know, so it's okay. There's a lot of managers ripping off people still, but you know, it's kind of really benign, you know, inane thing to say.
Actually, yeah, can I jump in?
Oh,
Sorry, Richard,
okay.
you just reminded me. That guy from the Quantic.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay. Now we got some
Definitely
candidates.
fuck.
Oh wow! The worst thing you want out of esports is the guy that scammed people out of $40,000. Wow, what a brave fucking answer. Can we just take a moment right now,
Wait,
please?
okay, so
if you have a Twitter account right now, can you please tweet at Blizzard and ask them to add a bravery category to their fucking community choice votes? Because I'm pretty sure that right there would definitely take the cake. What a brave answer.
All right, which one's more brave, saying no answer or that answer?
Can I go ahead and nominate? I want to piggyback that nomination. I'm going to nominate Own.tv for the people that they stiff, 5 figures. How about that? Can I? Wow, I hope that they're out of
I'm
esports
right
forever.
behind you, Steven. I'm right behind you on that one.
Alright. No, but let's get back to my list a minute.
Okay, yeah, let's go back to Richard's list. All right. Oh my God.
Right. You know who's really been getting on my tits lately?
Oh.
Hotbit.
Hotbit.
Oh.
Wow. All right, here we go.
Dude. No, he just takes himself so fucking seriously. Like I noticed it with a lot of the Team Liquid staff lately. Like
Does he?
I don't know, man.
Oh
they
boy,
really
here we
start,
go.
I've
Like,
been taking
they're not-
seriously.
like, fucking reinventing the wheel and stuff. Like, and it's like you're not. Like just simmer the fuck down, guys. But I think ultimately, if I was gonna go with anyone, I'd probably say Klauf. That whole Klauf stroke Azubu. Yeah, it's Azubu thing. Because like I know they promised that we were going to see this like whole new again reinventing the wheel, broadcasting esports, so much money, we're going to be fucking amazing.
Well, you've seen
blah,
it.
blah, blah.
I mean,
Like,
you've seen the
watch our
studio.
show. And then I tuned into the first show with a Wheel of Fortune thing, and I thought, is this fucking serious? Is this fucking serious? Is this like how you're going to revolutionize esports? Chicks and a Wheel of Fortune. Well, thank fuck, man. Thank God you are here to save our failing industry, Klauf. That and there are probably a bunch of money launderers or some shit. So fuck them. They can fuck right
Are
up.
they not spending the money that you were expecting? I mean, they are spending money, that's for sure.
They are spending money, but I mean, it's probably Azubu money, or there's definitely. I mean, they're not. I mean, like, because when Azubu was still going, Klauf was registered, wasn't it, in Europe as an Azubu?
I think that actually,
I don't know that
think it's
order.
necessarily that bad.
So
I don't think it's necessarily that bad if we have money laundering in esports, because now we can actually get, because a lot of money laundering is done because of like sales for drugs and shit. So now when you actually go down to your local drug dealer, you could actually support esports by buying like Klauf approved dealers. Like you can find out like where the money goes, like how that chain works, and you could buy from only the dealers that support that organization. I think that would be kind of cool.
I've also just realized I've really.
This makes states like Colorado.
Twitch.
This makes
No,
this
I
makes
can't
states
buy
like
from you.
Colorado. This makes states like Colorado some of the biggest backers of esports, if you really think about it, right?
I've just realized as well, like that this whole selling out thing, I've pretty much narrowed down, like the three, perhaps the triumvirate of sellouts. I've isolated myself from them. Like I haven't really thought this through, so yeah, I'm gonna
I would
take that
just like
back.
to go on the
I think
record.
oh, awesome. They're
I want to
really
go on the record being affiliated with the show. I like Hotbid. Okay, so I'm just going out on there,
Yeah,
going out on the record.
I do too.
You said Hotbit takes himself so seriously, really? Wow,
Well,
I would think
well,
it's the opposite, man. If anything.
I think the problem is with Can I
Like,
break this down? Because I didn't understand this, and I was always on the side. There is a lot of parts of Team Liquid whose sole purpose to their existence is to cause great butthurt in the universe, and you have to be careful to like avoid that butthurt. Because I know at one point in time I was on the end of that of the great butthurt that is Team Liquid, and some people there are kind of assholes. But I think for the most part, I think most of the Team Liquid guys are good people. Sometimes they do go out of their way to cause a little bit of butthurt, but I think for the most part, I think they're okay people.
I don't know. I think anyone that's kind of wanting to trumpet about what great journalists they are, and then they attack other journalists for writing stuff about the organization they're affiliated to, I think that makes you a corporate shill and actually a piece of shit. So, I'm kind of to the right on that a little bit there, Stephen. So, and it's not about being butthurt. I just can't take anyone seriously that does that sort of thing. Again,
I mean,
but,
you just gotta be careful, like, what kind of...
We all knew this question was like, who's Richard gonna pick? And it's like, maybe it's Hobbit and Clout and all that.
I tried to word it differently, but you
yeah, but that's because you didn't understand it, Chris. Not because you answered it.
Yeah.
That's because
Chat, get the fuck out of esports.
Yeah, and tomorrow it could be you, Chris. But yes, I'm understand more and more increasingly as I've become self-aware. I'm the asshole, I'm the problem, and it's okay. So I apologise obviously to all the people I've just railed. Clout probably aren't money launderers, and Hotbid's probably cool, but just for today, fuck off out of esports, please.
All right. Next one is, who would you like the most to be successful in 2014?
Hotbid and Clout.
Hotbid and Clout.
Together, I want them to start working with each other. Like,
oh man.
No, I'll let Paul answer that because I know he's got.
Let's see what he says here.
You're gonna hate me. Actually, Steven's gonna really hate me. I would really like to see Alliance do really well in League of Legends. Not because of the organisation, but just because of the players, and because they've had such a tough time to start with. I would really like to see Hero Marine do really well and really sort of kick off his esports career, because I think he's massively talented, having watched him over the shoulder a number of times playing StarCraft. Other than that, I think just onwards and upwards for everyone involved in esports, so that we can all just I know this is unfiltered, but genuinely we can get to a year from now and say what another cracking year that was, because we've had, I think, 2 in a row now, and I think 3 in a row would be something of a record.
All right. Steven?
Cracking year? What the fuck does that mean?
Cracking year, like a good year.
Cracking, it's a British thing, it means really good,
Oh. Okay.
A jolly good year, Stephen.
Yeah, like that.
Steven, who would you like to see have the most success in 2014?
I hope that Blizzard... my 2 would be Blizzard and MLG. Obviously MLG because I'm in a really lucrative position to work with them. But because like open bracket tournaments and shit back would be awesome. And Blizzard has the potential to do so much really fucking good shit. Blizzard is, again, and I said this a year or 2 ago on my little bloggers and on TV shows, or not TV, but whatever fucking shows I come on. I still think that Blizzard is in the best position to be the catalyst that the community needs to, really fucking take off. So I hope that Blizzard continues to step in the right direction. They have all of the tools, and they've proven that they're willing to invest the money into it. Like they're dropping, almost $100,000 between the arcade and the streamer choice award things. Mm-hmm. Not to mention all the money they spent on WCS. So they've got the financial desire to do so. I really, really, really hope that the guys up at Blizzard can be wise enough to point their resources, or to give them to somebody that actually knows how to utilize them really well. Let's all channel our inner religion, and let's pray for the wisdom of Blizzard to choose wise people to guide those financial instruments, or those financial resources, because God, WCS has been a fucking train wreck. But the idea and the intentions are really good. They just need to be channeled better.
All right, Richard.
I'll definitely second Paul's Hero Marine thing, because when I had the pleasure of interviewing him at Home Story Cup, I couldn't stop laughing. It was so cool to sort of see, a kid who, despite having English as a second language, was sort of articulate and enthusiastic, and it was really good. So I definitely second that. But this is kind of off the beaten path a little bit, this one, because I know this is a primarily StarCraft kind of show. But the guys over at Leaguepedia For anyone who follows what they do, they've been shat on like so hard this year. Like I don't know if anyone
Really?
caught. Yeah, well, if you caught any of the stream of abuse that pours out of my Twitter, you'll have noticed that me and Monte Cristo, the kind of commentator for League of Legends, we've been having a few digs at each other. We actually get along. It's all for the show. It's kind of like me and Total Biscuit now. We actually talk in private and we respect each other, but we don't let anyone know, right? It's like being arrested.
Until now.
Yeah. Well, no, but he'll deny that in chat now. So that's cool. We'll maintain the illusion. But anyway, Monte Cristo very publicly sort of pointed out that they were like awful journalists, and then he started like espousing the virtues of other blogs like Cloth 5 and things like this, who are actually far inferior. Like Leaguepedia is an essential tool. You want to write about League of Legends, you've got to use Leaguepedia. It's got the complete history on there. It's the ultimate wiki for this burgeoning esports title. They put so much work in. They don't see a big financial return, and their staff have just been shat on so hard like the last 3 months. And I totally don't understand it, because they're really cool people. They provide an essential service for journalists like myself, for fans, enthusiasts, and I hope that they can turn the corner, stop getting bad press from guys like Monte Cristo, who's got no right to be shitting on them at all. He's well out of his element doing it. He should stick to watching fucking replays. He shouldn't be talking about journalistic practices and ethics. And yeah, hopefully they'll be able to financially, make something of what they do, because they're just great people, and it's a great site. So sorry, that's a bit serious. Fuck Hotbid. There you go. I've brought it back.
All right, mine. I guess I'll kind of agree with Steven here or just kind of put my vote in for Blizzard also, just because I think 2014 is going to be a big year for them, with potentially the launch of Hearthstone. I think the beta for Heroes of the Storm will probably come out, so lots of just like new products, and I think that's going to bridge into Legacy of the Void, which is 2015. So and WCS obviously during this year, and a lot of improvements to it. So I think it's going to be a big year for Blizzard, and I'm really excited about it, and I hope they're successful with all these things, because I think it's just going to lead to really, really great things in all the communities of all the titles that they have. So StarCraft 2 communities, Hearthstone community, it's just going to be great. It's just going to be really, really great if they can make all of this stuff successful. So that's my vote, and we'll go into maybe one or two last questions. One, Pizza Bucket. I'm going to skip a bunch here, guys, because we covered a lot of the stuff in a lot of the topics. And Pizza Bucket asks, how does the panel feel about competitive RTS being shackled to StarCraft 2, and is the scene is experiencing comeback from a lack of innovative competition? StarCraft 2 is at its core very conservative design. Let's see. I kind of skip. This is kind of long.
Fuck this question.
It says, I guess I'm trying to ask, is StarCraft's mechanical simplicity and perhaps dated base design essential for it to remain competitively balanced, or are we just assuming assuming this because it's the only RTS to reach esports level popularity? Could StarCraft 2 have benefited from Blizzard taking stock of the innovations which happened in RTS in the periods between Brood War and StarCraft 2?
Look to Planetary Annihilation. That game should launch soon.
As an esport, you think so? I mean,
maybe.
It's
like the next big RTS coming out, no?
Yep.
Yeah, I think so.
Some of the guys that worked back on Total Annihilation are working on that, apparently.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep. Which I find that quite incredible, because TA was the first RTS. Actually, it was the second RTS I ever played. I played June before that, but it really was a fantastic game. I can't even. It's not even an over exaggeration. TA was really, really fucking brilliant. It was just that notch ahead of Command and Conquer. Which was it was Westwood Studios, and they set the bar very high with all their FMV and what have you. But TA basically just went, fuck the FMV, let's just make a fucking good game. So yeah, I really enjoyed that. So I'm looking forward to PA. In terms of the question, I don't think so. I think there's a lot that Brood War did fantastically well, and it had the longevity about it as well. But I think we also forget that the longevity was largely down to the fact that Korea adopted it as its national sport. So
Brood War was a fluke. Brood War was definitely flukish.
Absolutely, don't think Blizzard ever set out, and I'm sure they won't mind me saying this. I don't think they ever set out and went, let's make a really good RTS for esport, and let's let's make it a really good TV game for Koreans to play. Yeah, let's do that. So no one ever set out to do that. It's just a fluke. It's how it happened. But with StarCraft 2, they have at least taken the lessons that they've learned about balance. And yes, it's still an argument going on right now. And yeah, fuck Protoss, but it doesn't matter. It's the point is, I think it's still as sexy as it ever was. It's just, it just looks prettier than Brood War does. Is it the same game? Is it better? Is it worse? I don't know. It's up to other people more known for Brood War. I don't really have much experience with the game to comment. But is it because it's the only one around? Yeah, probably right now. And I think competition is always healthy. I think it always makes people step up their game, whether it's TV or streaming or shows or game development. And you can bet your ass that Riot are sitting there right now and looking at everything that Blizzard are doing and going, okay, they're making a MOBA. Well, that's fine because we're making an RTS. I don't know if they're making an RTS, but it wouldn't surprise me in the slightest.
Riot is making an RTS?
It wouldn't surprise me. They've recently hired a ton of Blizzard people, and they've also employed a really big name from Blizzard, who worked on World of Warcraft. So that would send some signals to me that maybe they're going to make a MMORPG as well. So
I think he's
don't
been
know.
brought in specifically for game balance within League of Legends because but obviously there'll be other projects from.
Yeah, of course, it wouldn't surprise me. Riot are not going to sit there and sit on League of Legends and go, cool, that's great, we're making 600 million a year, cool. Let's all go to the beach. For 3
Yeah,
months.
they're definitely doing a collectible card game.
I don't know.
Yeah,
the collectible card game got scrapped, didn't it?
They're going to compete. So
the collectible
anything
card game
that
got
Blizzard...
scrapped.
Well, I just think anything that Blizzard want to do... I mean, Blizzard are moving into MOBAs, okay, so that's cool. So they're going to take on Dota and they're going to take on League of Legends directly head-to-head, there's no doubt about that. And it wouldn't surprise me if Riot and Valve are sitting there going, well, okay, what else is in there? What else can we make money from? And RTS right now is kind of ripe, along with 1v1 FPS, if you can ever make any money out of it. But I'm sure Too Good will tell us how.
I mean, Blizzard still has the Warcraft title, too. Warcraft 4
4
is going to be an RTS.
Warcraft.
I mean, there's no way.
Absolutely.
It's generally, maybe in another 2, 3, 4 years. I mean, that's about the right time, right? Just given the Brood War and Warcraft 3 kind of timing. So
yeah, well, Legacy of the Void is next. They already know that. It's on the roadmap. It's going to be 2015.
Yep.
You've got another year after that before they'll even touch anything else. So you may be looking at 17, 18 before we see Warcraft 4, if we ever see it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, last question. Sidus Knight. It's kind of a reminiscing question. With Idra's departure from StarCraft, a lot of us are reminded of the early days of Wings of Liberty. What moments from this era of StarCraft 2 are hilarious, ridiculous, interesting in hindsight? I guess what are your most memorable, notable moments, I guess, from Wings of Liberty? Or maybe just this entire era so far?
Mine are quite late in Wings because I came in quite late. Grubby beating Nurtio at the WCS Europe Finals was kind of magical for some reason.
Okay. Richard?
It's kind of weird because when you're on the ground covering it, you don't really have sort of a sense of what you've witnessed until you sort of, you look back. Like, I know, whenever Naniwa plays at DreamHack, I think when I get out of esports, like, one of the most sort of endearing memories will be Naniwa making it to the finals of DreamHack and just that crowd giving him like this massive pop,
Fuck. That's a really good point. Naniwa should have been on that fuck off of esports list. But sorry, fuck off. I can't believe I forgot Naniwa. God damn it.
Man.
But yeah, so I mean that was really cool. I mean, and just I would say the Stefano era was like, it gave foreigners hope, didn't it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And that was like so fucking surreal. Like for someone that had, I didn't follow Brood War very closely, but I knew Koreans were pretty good at it. Shall we say?
Yeah.
So when I first came into StarCraft 2, and I was expecting it to be the same. When I first got to meet Stefano and actually saw a sort of foreigner competing, It was amazing. He was so talented as well, like just unbelievably smart, and like I say, a rock and roll guy. So like yeah, he was, man. He was as rock and roll as StarCraft ever got, probably. So yeah, he's that whole period was like very exciting time to sort of be writing about the game and going to events and going to tournaments. And these people I don't think have been replaced yet. So
Yeah.
we need that next generation of StarCraft players with big personalities to come through.
Steven, biggest memory, hilarious, ridiculous, whatever.
I don't know. I think it's kind of funny every day when I sit here and promote my sponsors that I outlasted a lot of other people. That's always funny to me. I'm pretty narcissistic. I'm sorry. That's all I got. Everything in 2011 was really cool and fresh and new, and our eyes were gleaming, and our hearts were young, and our dreams took us over impossible boundaries. So 2011 was a fun year. I think existing at any point in 2011 was a fun year. Whether it was watching Jinro and his Codes runs, or Idra over in Korea trying to do his Codes stuff, Boxer coming back for the Brood War fans that still followed StarCraft 2. Boxer coming back to this game was absolutely amazing. Boxer versus Idra at MLG.
Oh, that was one of mine, bastard.
One of the Idra almost left this planet, because he would have been in the worst state of mind possible. I can't imagine. But basically, for those that missed it, Idra was up 3-0.
3-0. Oh, God.
And then Boxer turned on the stuff that really made him famous as a Brood War player and started doing these crazy, fucking weirdish, cheesy-ish builds and came back to tie the series up 3-3. And oh my fucking God, I cannot imagine. I think that would have been probably... I almost want to say that probably, with the history and everything behind it, would have been one of the most epic sets, if not the most epic set of all time, if Boxer would have brought that back and won it 4-3. To be down 0-3 against Idra and an MLG and to bring it back 4-3, fucking Boxer from Brood War to do that, would have been one of the most epic sets of all times. But Idra did manage to close it out at the very end.
It was close, too. Yep, that was...
I forgot as well, I forgot from my list, Dennis will kill me, being introduced to the Home Story Cup. Like, seriously, I've never seen anything like that in all of esports. It was like what esports was back in, like, 99, 2000. Like, when I first got into it, and I was, like, covering Tekken tournaments in South Wales. If you can imagine the shit I've seen in my career. But, yeah, but it was on such a big scale, and I was really touched, because at the last one at Home Story 8, they gave me a winner's medal. Which wow. I got a little bit choked up actually, because I don't keep any of my esports memorabilia. I got all my press passes and shit here, but this is like the one thing I'm gonna keep, because Home Story Cup is so fucking awesome. So yeah, that was being introduced to that is pretty sweet. So yeah, that for sure.
For me, Steven took mine. That MLG was actually my first MLG too that I've ever been to. It was Orlando. It was Orlando too, and that moment was amazing. The crowd was, I mean, obviously there's been bigger crowds in like Anaheim and maybe some of the other places, but the crowd was as loud as I've ever heard an esports crowd during that series. Like, everybody in the venue was standing there watching, like whether it was whatever, Halo or Call of Duty at the time too, and everybody was just standing there watching. So that one for me, the esports, he kind of described it already. And from a community standpoint, just over the years, I have to say, Steven and Combat X, those nights, or Steven in control in Combat X, those nights I think were some of the most memorable, entertaining kind of things that happened, a couple years ago now, or a few years ago now. But it's some of the most funny things that you'll ever see, like involving StarCraft and trash talking. I mean, it's just like the highest level of trash talk like you'll see probably in gaming is between those two and some of those videos. I think you can still see them on YouTube, right, Steven? Somewhere down there if you guys can find it. But
that's right, you sure can.
Whatever happened to him?
Nothing.
He
just does school now.
He just he cleaned up, I think, right? And yeah, he's just doing school now. But okay, guys, I think that's going to be it for the questions. I'm going to wrap the show, so why don't we do some shout-outs? Really, really fun. Great times having you here, and we went over like 30 minutes, so it must have been a really great time today to go over time. But, Paul, you want to do some shout-outs?
Sure. Just to you guys, thanks for inviting me on, as always, and good luck with the show as it goes forward. It's always a joy to watch. Even though I mostly catch it on VOD these days because it's late and past my bedtime and I'm old.
It's all good.
All the guys at ESL keep rocking, keep doing the stuff that they're doing. They've been great to work with over the last year. I'm pleased to say that we've got another contract for another year, so another 12 months. And yeah, just keep putting in the shifts, and anyone that tunes into the shows and supports esports, you get my vote. So thanks.
Richard.
Yeah, shout out to all of you. Paul, obviously doing amazing work as always. It's great to see one of the old guys in esports enjoying such a renaissance period in his career and being, still the host with the most, so to speak. So doing great work and an inspiration to everybody in esports. Destiny, what can I say? Great co-host. He sits there, says nothing. Doesn't even know what we're talking about, and yet somehow manages to be intelligent. To be intelligent and succinct at equal measure. Chris, I really hope you win this Blizzard thing, which obviously guys at home don't vote for it. Just so you beat Day 9. I don't really give a fuck about you or your success.
Oh my god, the truth comes out.
Yeah, and just to everybody, I think this is the first time I've got through a show without potentially setting my career back. So I'm going to leave it there, and thanks to everybody for watching.
Progress. Steven.
Shout out to Richard Lewis, who is probably one of the most recognizable martyrs of our time alongside Jesus Christ. Welcome. Shout out to Paul from ReDeYe, who is an amazing host, a great guy. I'm still not entirely sure what he does, but I'm sure it's important. So, good job. Shout out to ChanManV for having me here. And, oh my god, are we excited or what? Destiny.gg/Ting. Ting recently lowered the price on some of their data plans. So, if you went and checked out a savings calculator before, and you were like, damn, these data plans are expensive, go check them out again, because they're not as expensive now. Wow. What a deal. Destiny.gg/Ting. Also, check out Destiny.gg/Shave. If you want a face that's smoother than even Chris's, oh my god, you need to check out those.
Oh my god.
They're pretty fucking awesome. Destiny.gg/Shave. Also, if you want to play Eve, Destiny.gg/Eve, make sure to sign up under my referral link so I get all that dirty money. The more money I get, the quicker I take over the galaxy and bring Butthurt to the entire Eve universe. And I think that's all I got right now. Oh, check out the Phoenix products. The Yatora is out. Man, it's fucking expensive, but it's pretty fucking cool. Hopefully you'll never need another one. If you ever look at that keyboard and you think, wow, this keyboard is way too expensive, I could just get a Philco or whatever, any other brand, read the description next to us, because that description is pretty impressive. I'm not sure what half the words mean, but I'm pretty sure it's really important. Check out the Yatora, check out the Nacita, they're really cool products.
Fucking
pro.
Pro today.
It was good when it was a comedy roast. Then it just became like
Holy
a
shit.
series of adverts. Like, what the fuck?
I actually
So pro,
I actually thought
man.
I'd not pressed the button and there were adverts coming through Twitch. I was convinced. Oh my god.
So pro.
Getting ready for my jump over to radio.
Jump over the radio.
I jump over to radio.
All right, guys. Well, I'll wrap.
Just like those sports broadcasts on the fucking sports shows. I hear it all the time for our college football. You know what? The Huskers' defense is really important in this game. You know what else is important? A defense against osteoporosis. Make sure you take your milk. Blah blah blah. Be strong, like Husker football. You know, shit like that. I'm gonna be right on that shit.
Oh man, I don't follow that shit up.
Twitch adverts during
Goodness.
shows since 2014.
Exactly. Well, I'll round it out and give you a shout out to all three of you guys for doing the show. Destiny each and every week. Love hosting with you, man, and appreciate just everything you do for me and for everybody. ReDeYe, Richard, always love having you guys on the show, and both of you guys have been hosts with me on Climbing the Ladder, and I really treat you guys. I really consider you guys friends, and I just love doing stuff with you, and that's why I wanted you guys as hosts on Climbing the Ladder at the time. So I really appreciate you coming.
I might send you a Christmas card this year, Chris.
You might. Oh wow. Okay. Thanks, man.
I might
Celebrate
you as
it,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Okay, just check.
Yes, I celebrate Christmas.
Dude, there's a fucking live stream right now of a debate on creationism versus evolution between Bill
jeez.
Nye and Ken Ham. I'm gonna watch this.
Oh my
It's about
god.
48 minutes in. Holy
That's gonna
shit.
be like 5 hours long. That's what that's
I'm
gonna
trying to
be.
watch it, but you
Restream
guys
it.
fucking... Yeah, it sounds like a good idea.
Just
You guys
Restream
read
it
it.
and comment on it.
Restream it.
Let's just
Exactly.
stay on Unfiltered and watch that and
Oh
comment
my
on it.
god. No freaking way. But thank you guys, the viewers.
A sensitive here to ChanManV who believes the entire world is hosted on a turtle or whatever. Can we, like, everybody has their own beliefs. That's fine, all right?
Oh my god. Oh man. Thank you guys for watching us, supporting all the stuff that we do. Of course, we wouldn't be able to do a lot of these things without you guys. So big thanks to you guys. Follow us all on Twitter at ChanManV, at Paul Schallner, at Steven_Bennell, and at Richard_A_Lewis. Click the follow button for this Twitch channel if you enjoy Unfiltered or any of my other shows, Value Town, Wednesday Night Surprise, Climb the Ladder, and maybe if you enjoy even my late night Hearthstone streams. It's the best way to get notified on your phone, via email, any of those things when I go live. Also, check out all the VODs for the Unfiltered. This show is going to be posted there too on the youtube.com/ChanManV. All the VODs are free. All the past episodes are there, so just go check them out. Stop bitching about the Twitch VODs being behind the sub wall, because it's always going to be behind the sub wall. So too bad. Go there.
You just fucked up that Blizzard vote now, dude. You shouldn't have said that.
Whatever.
That's it.
And that's going to be it, guys. So for Unfiltered... Oh, one last thing. So I lied last week that I wasn't going to be here this week for Unfiltered. Next week, it turns out next week I'm going to be out of town. So we'll do Unfiltered not on Tuesday, probably a different day once me and Steven kind of coordinate on that. So don't expect it on Tuesday. All right, guys. For Richard Lewis, ReDeYe, Destiny, and ChanManV.
See ya.
See you next time. Later.
Move on.